what the cup looked like when Lord Stanley of Preston, who was the Governor General of Canada late in the 19th century, he was stationed in Ottawa, and his sons played the game, and Lord Stanley decided that he would donate a trophy to symbolize the champion of Canada, and this is it. This is the original. Of course, it eventually didn't have any room for all the names on it, so they kept adding more and more names, and of course, here's just another level of names. Now the Stanley Cup is so big that it's hardly carryable, but this is the original, and we're right inside the vault of the old Bank of Montreal, now the Hockey Hall of Fame. And there is Lord Stanley of Preston, the man after whom the Stanley Cup is named, looking on. Now you know that it wasn't named after me. Well, all my life I wanted to be a play-by-play announcer, just like Foster Hewitt and Jiggs McDonald and Mike Emmerich. And here in the Hockey Hall of Fame, you actually get an opportunity to pick a play and do the play-by-play. So we're going to select one here. I'm taking 1980, Bob Nystrom's overtime cup winner at Nassau Coliseum. I happened to be here, be at the Coliseum at the time. And this first, they give you a practice round. They show you the play, and they actually have the announcer. I actually think I can do a better job than that, but we'll see. You be the judge when I get started. Here we go. Lorne Henning has the puck at center ice. He passes to John Tonelli. It's a 2-on-1. Tonelli tonight. He scores! The Islanders have won the Stanley Cup. Well, here we go.
Lorne Henning has the puck at center ice. He passes to John Tonelli. It's a 2-on-1. Tonelli tonight. He scores! The Islanders have won the Stanley Cup.
I'll never be a Jiggs McDonald or a Mike Emmerich, but I tried. Well, as you can see, I'll never be another Jiggs McDonald, but I had my moment in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. Myself, Eddie Westfall, and Barry Landis to field your questions, and there's no question that the Islanders have their backs to the wall. This is a game they're going to have to win, and although a lot of people are not aware of it, in fact, most people are not aware of it, there already was a clash on the ice in the warm-up, and I just talked to Vice President Brian Burke, who was here for the game, for the pregame ceremonies, and he told me that it involved Islanders goalie Ron Hextall and at least one of the Flyers. This is a carryover from last night, so obviously this is going to be a mean-spirited game, and it's certainly going to be a test for referee Don Koharski. Whether this is going to start in the first period right away, we'll see, but I thought you'd like to know that. First call, Bill from Ronkonkoma. You're on, Bill. Bill? Hello, Bill? Oh, looks like we may have lost Bill. Bill, are you there?
Yeah, how you doing,
What's
guys?
your question, Bill?
With the trading deadline approaching, I look at the Islanders' nucleus as being Pierre Turgeon, Benoit Hogan, Steve Thomas, with maybe Malakoff and Krupp on D. I was wondering what you gentlemen could speculate for me on a possible pickup of maybe a player that could put them into the playoffs for sure this season.
Well, I know that Don Maloney has been talking. He's made that pretty public. But it's so difficult to make a deal because the other teams are wanting a battleship for a rowboat, and right now it's very, very tough. Eddie, Barry, what do you know? What do you think?
It is. It's a difficult situation, but I suppose when you look at the Islanders and the situation they're in a difficult one. So the idea is now, do you pull the trigger on a deal for the sake of making a deal? Depends on the size of it. I would think now the Islanders are not in the position just to make trades for the sake of making trades. What they have to do is they've got to do something with some spunk to it And whether or not they do it, that's up to the general manager. But a small trade, that won't work, Barry.
Eddie, I think they're going to wait a little bit longer. Don Maloney had said the end of February. It's rapidly approaching the end of this week, and the Islanders don't do well in these next 3 home games. Tonight, Quebec Sunday, and St. Louis Tuesday, before they play the Rangers back-to-back. Maybe he'll pull a trigger.
If I remember correctly, the March 21st is the deadline, and that's too late because the Islanders need a lot more help before then, the way things are going. Stan?
Well, I certainly think that a defenseman is most coveted. The Islanders have a couple of defensemen who obviously are of interest to other teams. They're not going to get Malakoff. Yui Krupp is a possibility. I know his name has been discussed for several months, but again, you've got to get somebody really good in return. Next question, Marie from Wantagh. You're on, Marie.
Hello?
Yeah, what's the question?
I just want to know what you think the Islanders can do to improve on their power play.
Ah, good question. Very good question. First of all, as far as I'm concerned, the power play success is all capsulized in the first 30 seconds, if not before that. Too many times the Islanders get off to a bad start. They get out of sync, and they never find the groove. The passing has to be more sensible, and too often they just bomb the puck into the corner. They lose possession, and bang, it's out again. Crisp, sensible, short passes is my answer to that. Okay, Eddie?
Stan, I think the last time I remember a successful power play, Yui Krupp had 2 the other night, last night as a matter of fact. No one wants the puck on the power play. You have it. I don't want it. You take it. They're too quick to give it away to somebody instead of somebody. We all get excited when Malakoff grabs the puck down in his own end of the ice and starts to move up because it looks authoritative, and it is. To the other team, the penalty killers, it's intimidating. But they don't do it enough, and you're right. They give it up too easy. With some speed and coming up together, they've got to back the penalty killers in and gain possession of the puck, Barry, so they can work it around.
Well, Eddie, we saw the Islanders, Yui Krupp, do exactly what you said. He rushed the puck. Eventually, they got that first power play goal because he did bring the puck into the zone and eventually got it from the blue line.
Well, the power play works in steps. You got to come out of your end. You've got to go through the center ice area, and then you got to set up in the offensive zone. Then you have to have players in front of the net that are willing to win there and take a little bit of a pounding. And that pounding is something that the players right now, some of the Islanders, don't want to take, Stan.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, next question. John from Mount Sinai. You're on, John.
Hi, Stan.
Hi.
What did the heartbreaking loss to the Flyers do last night to the Islanders physically and mentally, and what do they have to do to win tonight?
Well, you'll get the answer to that question in the first 5 minutes of the hockey game. I mean, if the Islanders come out and really take it to the Flyers, it will mean that they've rebounded okay, that they're psychologically okay. They've got to get the first goal of the game. If they give up the first goal, they've got to rebound very quickly. And they've got to tighten up the defense. They've got to make more sensible passes out of their zone. Eddie?
Stan, the scouting report on the Flyers would be that you've got to put a lot of pressure on their defense. That's the weakest part. Since they've revamped the forward lines, they're strong up front. But if you put them in their own end of the ice, forecheck them, then, of course, you're going to get scoring chances.
Very inexperienced defense, as we saw last night. You can take advantage of them, and the Islanders have to come out the way they came out against Washington the other day with full force. Great forechecking. Pleasantries there. I don't think too pleasant, but maybe a carryover. Stan pointed out from last night.
It looked a little more like the Roosevelt flea market with all those people gathering around in one place. But no, I guess something was said. The players, you know, they crisscross really close to each other in the warm-ups, and somebody had said something to somebody and from the opposite team, and they stopped to chat about it. It really didn't have a whole lot of significance. And I think, if anything, the fans will benefit by it, but it may bring the intensity level of the game up a little when they drop the puck, Barry.
No love lost between these two teams. You saw a matchup down on the ice moments ago, but
this is their tomorrow right now. And, of course, the only thing the Islanders can do, is to draw even. After losing last night, they win tonight. They're just back to where they were before Thursday night's game. Well, that's important to the Islanders because, of course, Philadelphia is a team that they have to climb over.
The Flyers are a hot club right now. They're scoring goals. They're a club that is getting great performance from a #1 line. And they've had a hex here at the Coliseum. They'll be trying to break a 10-game winless streak, 0-9-1, dating back for just about 3 years. And another number of action tonight, young and restless. Young Eric Lindros and young Michael Renberg giving NHL goalies nightmares of late. Renberg leads all the rookies in goals and second in assists. And, of course, the big guy, Eric Lindros, on fire right now in the last 5 games. The broom is out. They're looking for sweep the Flyers to sweep this series. Right now, they are 8 points ahead of the Islanders, tied for the last conference playoff spot. and they would like nothing better than to maybe put a nail in the Islander coffin, because last year, you'll recall, the Islanders won 7 out of 9, and that cost the Flyers a playoff spot.
Well, it hurt them a great deal, but when you think of young and restless, you also think of inexperience, and the Islanders have to take advantage of the inexperience, particularly on defense, something we talked about in the Islander pregame show.
As far as the Islanders are concerned, certainly their backs are to the wall at this point of the season. 25 games remaining. They're 5 games under 500. They really have to win these next 3 home games against Philly, Quebec, and St. Louis to pick up very much needed points. Close encounters. The Islanders lost another 1-goal game, another overtime game, and they must improve their record at 1-goal games. It's a dismal 6-12. And the big guns are shooting blanks, at least certainly last night. They have to come to play tonight. Turgeon, King, Hogue, and Thomas shut out. They combined for just 6 shots on goal in last night's game.
You've got to have the big guns. And, you know, one of the fearful things with coaches is that when you bring back a Pierre Turgeon into the lineup, do the other players kind of lay back and relax and say, wow, we've got him back. He's in the lineup. We can figure he's going to take a big part of the workload and do the numbers that he's used to doing. But, you know, that only works if everybody still plays up at a level they were playing before.
Let's take a look at our Payne-Weber Eastern Conference standings. Rangers on top, but then the real dogfight, as we see, right through their 2nd through 5th position. Philadelphia with 62 points, right now tied with Florida. Then come the Islanders, Tampa Bay tied, and Quebec, Hartford, and Ottawa bring up the rear. We'll be back with a special presentation to Keith Acton when we return. Eddie Westfall's kind of hockey player.
Yeah. You know, there's something about scoring goals that Keith Acton has done that. He's scored over 30 goals in the NHL. Talking with Eric Lindros said to me that he learned a lot from Keith Acton. They were roommates last year when Acton was in his Philadelphia uniform, roomed with Lindros, and Lindros said, I couldn't believe it. This guy would lay down in the afternoon of a hockey game, have a nap. I couldn't sleep. I was so pumped up. He'd wake up, and then he'd get into his game face. I didn't sleep all afternoon. I was worn out before the game started with nervous energy. I learned how to control my emotions just being around with a man like Keith Acton.
And he's been a very positive effect on the Islanders. Let's right now join the public address announcer for the presentation.
For Keith Acton. Here to congratulate you, your wife Susan, daughters Brooke and Elise, your sons William and Robbie, and your mom and dad, Jerry and Betty Acton. Joining them is Islanders General Manager Don Maloney.
Thank you. Congratulations, Keith, on a tremendous achievement. We've received many congratulatory telegrams from all your former teammates in Dallas, Minnesota now, Washington, Philly, Montreal. Your style of play is both inspirational and timeless. So on behalf of the New York Islanders and all our fans here tonight, it's an honor to present you this clock from Tiffany's. Thank you.
At this time, please welcome the Vice President and Director of Hockey Operations, Brian Burke, who would like to present Keith with an NHL 1000th Game Milestone Award. Keith, the jersey that you wore in Game 1000 is being sent to the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto for display. Finally, your teammates have commemorated this event as well. When you return to the locker room, the team has a special gift for you. Thank you, Keith, and may we see you for 1,000 more.
We'll be back with the start of tonight's game. The Islanders and Flyers coming up next. Here at the Nassau Coliseum as the Islanders and Flyers get set to clash. And we'll take a look at our Meineke goaltenders for tonight.
Dominic Roussel, who played last night, he faced 25 Islanders shots and had the win. There's the numbers on him. A youthful 24-year-old Dominic Roussel.
And on the other end, Ron Hextall looking to bounce back from a disappointing effort last night. 23 saves in that 5-4 loss. He wishes he had another crack maybe at that last goal scored by Rod Brindamore.
Well, it was a tough goal to have go by in overtime. There's the referee for tonight, Don Koharski. Scott Distro, Pat Picuzzo for the lines. And Islanders want to take charge early in this hockey game.
Well, they did that against the Washington Capitals on Monday afternoon. And right now, Keith Acton starting out there with David Maley. Now, Dave Brown is out there with Claude Boivin. And let's see, actually, Dave Tippett has now come out there. And this is going to be a very interesting situation. Dave Brown didn't play the other day. He was suspended. He's lined up against David Maley. And as we're underway, the puck comes back into the Islanders' zone. Scott LaChance to pick it up. Islanders playing tonight without Dean Chenault. He bruised his shoulder running into Eric Lindros last night. So Tom Kerb is in the lineup tonight. As Vakota pushes down the right wing. McGill angles him to the boards. And the Flyers' big Dave Brown gets to it. Around the boards, he'll send into the corner. LaChance pursuing the play. LaChance in front trying to get it there for Vakota. And it slides wide to the near side. Out to center, David Maley. On to Tom Kerbers. I checked it out to Scott LaChance. And now here's Mick Vakota from center ice. Mick lobs one in. It'll go over the glass, out of play. And 40 seconds, 6 seconds into this game, we'll have a face-off coming up as Mick Vakota, after a quiet start to this game, goes to the bench.
If you're wondering how this occurs to start a hockey game, I can tell you this, that the visiting team has to give their starting lineup first. And then, of course, Al Arbor will ink in the players he wants out against them. So Terry Simpson has a pretty robust starting lineup, albeit with Dave Tippett at center ice.
A look at Terry Simpson, former Islander coach, who has done well this year. Got off to a great start. They were 11-3, and at one point there were rumors when they were struggling, losing 6 in a row about 3 weeks ago, that he might not last the season.
Did you start the rumors,
No,
Terry?
I like Terry, as a matter of fact, quite well.
That's what it was, just a rumor. Somebody needed to put a column in and figured, well, I'll write about the fact that they should fire the coach.
Turgeon now to Malakoff, backhands one wide of Roussel. Vasky from the left point, right on. Stop made by Roussel. Bouncing puck, Malakoff couldn't control it. Kick down the ice, Kevin Dineen chases the Islanders' Dennis Vasky back. Now Vasky up the near side for Derek King. He's got Turgeon breaking. Turgeon will chase into the corner. Zeitler, Bob Zettler hit there now. Here's King trying to make a pass, broke it up. And Kevin Dineen out to Eric Lindros, moving in on Yuri Krupp. Lindros trying to make a move, broken up, got it back, jammed it right on. Big save, Hextall, as Kasparaitis and Lindros almost throw punches at each other. They skate up the ice, menacing one another as play continues down the ice. Keep an eye on those two from the other night. Renberg runs into Kasparaitis, the loose puck picked up by Brindamore. Back in front, Renberg fired wide. Good setup that time, he was wide open. Delgarno falls and Renberg's got it. Renberg knocked down, no penalty. Kasparaitis run into by Brindamore, sided around the boards. Good start to this game, both teams very physical. As play in center ice now, Travis Green. He goes down, penalty coming up on the Flyers, and the Islanders will have the first power play of the night. Timeout on the ice. Early in the opening period on the Modell scoreboard, we have no score.
Early in the hockey game, Philadelphia pressing the Islanders. Eric Lindros gets his pocket picked by Krupp, gets a shot away. That was by Brindamore, and here Darius Kasparaitis and Eric Lindros letting each other know that they're around.
The Flyers 9 times last year. They had plenty of time to take out their frustrations, and Darius Kasparaitis was in the middle of a lot of heated situations. A lot of those with Kevin Dineen from the blue line. McGill shot, long rebound of Baranek. He shoots, save made. And the Islanders Maley gets to it, but a whistle and a penalty coming up as Don Koharski blows the whistle.
Keith Acton is going to get a penalty, taking down Mark Recchi, I believe it is, in the Islander goal crease. So trading off here, the Islanders get a penalty after having no success on a power play a moment ago. Philadelphia win the draw. There's Keith Acton. He's got Recchi now in the face-off dot. There's a nice rebound to Baranek, and there Acton upends. Actually, it was a dive that Recchi took. And the Islanders will pay the price here for Acton taking Recchi out.
Yep. Power play leaders for the Flyers. Galley having a tremendous year in the power play. He has over 50 assists, and you can see half of those on the power play. Mark Recchi with 9 goals. Lindros in limited time with 12. This is a team that can burn you, and they're 9 for 19 over the last 4 games. Remember, they had 5 against Montreal the other night. Here's Galley at the left point. Lindros likes to set up like Lemieux along those left boards. Loses the puck to Huey Krupp, and Krupp flips it by Galley, who stumbled a bit. Islander penalty killers are Marty McGinnis. Out there with, right now, pick up Benoit Hogue. Huey Krupp and Darius Kasparaitis as Galley flips one in. Hextall again wandering, will clear the puck by to the right point, held in by Racine. Bangs it wide. Brindamore steers to the corner to Lindros. Back to Brindamore. Lindros hurt perhaps by that hard hit. Back to the left point. Galley through a screen. Save. Hextall, and he'll cover the rebound.
Well, Darius Kasparaitis does not pick numbers, as they say down at ice level. He doesn't care how big or how small. He hits hard. That's what he did with Eric Lindros. He took him out very strongly. Let's take a look. That's Brindamore. A little dump pass into the corner to Lindros, and Kasparaitis give him a little shot just to let him know that it doesn't matter. He may be a star and he may be very big, and he also strong and aggressive, but Darius is not going to let him do whatever he wants to do offensively in the Islanders' end of the ice.
Speaking of Darius, he will be Stan Fischler's guest after the first period. Mark Recchi and Pierre Turgeon out there for this face-off. Islanders down a man for the next minute and 10 seconds. Flyers have it back in their own zone. On the road, the Flyers have been a miserable team on the power play. As Wilkes pass intercepted by Flatley and fires high. Had him beaten but fired it high on the good interception that time on the Wilkie pass. Back comes Recchi. Recchi down low. Baranek shot at the goal line. Did it cross? No. They wave it off. And now they're going to call it a goal. The light never went on. The puck was behind Hextall at the goal line. We've got a discussion going on.
That's going to go to a review, and it will not count. Not from where I sat and from what I saw. It got to the goal line, but it has to clearly go across the goal line. Unless he saw something I didn't, it should not count. The goal judge confirmed it. There was nobody in front of him, and he didn't put the light on. You'd think that Don Koharski would have thought that. He was a little late getting down. Has to go completely across the goal line. Here's the shot from a bad angle that got through his feet. There it is on the goal line. It's not across yet. It's not across yet. Let's take a look from overhead. Maybe we'll see something we didn't see from that angle. This one gets between the feet of Hextall. There, trickles out, lands on the goal line. Still on the goal line, and it has to completely cross the goal line. So this will not count because there it sits. There it sits. There it sits. It has not completely crossed the goal line. So trust me, folks, unless somebody's got something that I don't see, it will not count. I'm a little surprised at the referee. He was behind the play. He wasn't far enough down on the play, and I'm not sure yet whether I could pick him up in the replays or not. But they are asking for the review, which they will get, and it'll be a 0-0 score when it's all over.
Well, everything happens when the Islanders and Flyers get together, Ed.
Well, you know, it's funny because talking to a lot of the people, and players included, around the Philadelphia Flyers hockey team, when they found out that Don Koharski was the referee, they all said, oh, no. Our record when he referees hockey games is zilch. We get nowhere.
We forgot to mention that Brent Fedek is not in the lineup for the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. He suffered a wrist injury, slashed on the wrist. He had a couple of golden opportunities, you'll recall, in that opening period, couldn't cash in. Ron Hextall, by the way, kept his shutout string going for about half that game, and then the roof fell in that 5-minute span yesterday.
Let's take another look. This is the view from overhead. Ron Koharski is talking to the appellate court, if you will. There's the puck. It has to completely go across the goal line, which it never did. It still hasn't.
And the further review, no goal has been
He's
scored.
pointing down at the Islanders' end, meaning that's where the face-off's going, meaning that it's not a goal.
Eagle eye at Westfall up here.
Well, some things are
confirmation.
right. You know, it's either it is or it isn't. And there's a simulation that you can use on that, but I'm not going to use it here. But it's not across the goal line completely. It cannot be a goal.
So Ron Hextall survives a bit of a tough time there. Joseph Baranek continues to struggle. He thought he was going to get a goal, break that 22-game scoring drought.
How many games?
22 games. Going back to December the 21st. What a great start he had, but he can't buy one lately. Right now, we have 48 seconds left on the penalty to Keith Acton. We played 5 minutes, 46 seconds of period number 1. Scoreless, Mark Recchi, who got a big goal for the Flyers last night on for this faceoff, won by Travis Green. Green now heads off as the Islanders shoot it down, and Marty McGinnis replaces him on the penalty killing unit. McGinnis has scored a shorthanded goal against the Flyers this year. Recchi carries one down. Upended again by Kasparaitis. Oh, he's hitting everything in sight. Deneen down. Puck is cleared by Kasparaitis. What an effort at both ends by Kasparaitis.
Well, that's inspirational to his teammates, and that's the kinds of things that you have to have from a lot of players. Is Kasparaitis again, this time on Deneen.
And that gets the crowd in the game cleared all the way down by Yui Krug. Power play time you see running out. Crowd coming alive here with the excellent penalty killing effort by the Islanders. Keith Acton will come on momentarily. He's back on. And the Islanders have killed the penalty. Flyers have it at center ice. Almost knocked away. Renberg on his knees rolls it in. Maskey to play it. Randall Garno tips it ahead now. Here's Bailey. Checked by Wilkie. Wilkie takes him down. Looked like a little calf wrestling there. Malakov's play in front broken up. Racine being forechecked aggressively. Now Racine gets knocked down. Play continued. Green cross ice. Malakov right on. So Bailey pulled down in front by Wilkie, and the rookie defenseman's going to go. Time out on the ice. Early in the opening period on the Modell scoreboard, it's 0-0.
Islanders power play will tell you that they needed the first one when Zettler took a penalty just for a warm-up. I don't know who was holding who, but apparently Wilkie was seen as holding on to the stick. Watch him, number 24 in front of that. Good hit there by Dave Maley.
Off to the live action, scrambled in front. Malakov down low, turns on in front. Thomas couldn't get it by. Now Thomas will play it along the boards. Oh, they came close. Krug back to Thomas. Toward the net, intercepted. Cleared to the point, kept in by Malakov. Sends it tipped in front off the stick of King. Thomas whacks behind the net. Turgeon and Finley go for it. Yui Krug back at the point. Thomas fakes the shot. Now to Turgeon. King sets up in front. Turgeon trying to feather it through. Knocked away. Gets it back. Given room by Tippett. Now Krug. Behind the net, it'll go to Thomas. King still stays in front. To Turgeon. Knocked down. Centering pass. King couldn't get it. Malakov shoots. Sliding save Roussel. And it'll be cleared down the ice by the Flyers.
Looked like Malakov changed his mind. Instead of shooting, he tried to pass it, and it was intercepted.
Now Yui Krug to pick it up. Islanders with 4 shots on this power play. Here's Turgeon wheeling across the line. Benoit Hogue. Malakov, the drive hit the post. Rebound to Malakov. Behind the net, Turgeon knocked it down. Sends it out in front. King couldn't get it. And the Flyers will come to center. Here's Mark Recchi bearing in on Yui Krug. Got the shot off. Hextall gloves it. Recchi goes sliding down in the corner. Hit by Krug. See the time remaining on the Islander power play as we're scoreless. 11:24 to go. Turgeon wheeling in. Shoots Roussel, right leg save. Rebound behind the net. King's got it. This is the best the Islander power play has looked for quite a while. Good puck movement. Now the Islanders back it to LaChance. LaChance will take a drive, tipped in front wide. Power play time down to 10 seconds. Along the boards, a battle. King after the puck. In comes Hogue as he throws his body after it. Hogue behind the net. Turgeon can't get it. Curvis does. Power play will expire now. Curvis, as the teams are all even. Hogue looking to set it up. In front. Score! Scott LaChance moving up, and it's 1-0 Islanders.
Chance with the presence of mind to move to the net. There was no out for the puck carrier, and he gave him one. Let's take a look. The power play was over. Zettler was back on the ice. Watch number 7. There he goes down in the left side of your screen. There's the puck coming across. Touch it into the open side of the net. So many times we've seen that happen to the Islanders. There's the pass. I believe Hogue threw the pass to LeChance, and it's a 1-0 lead. Take another look. There's Scott LeChance as he fought his way to the net and just slid it into the net.
Now we have talked about the Islander defense moving up on the play. They've been doing a lot more of it. They're going to need scoring from their defense down the stretch, and they got it there from Scott LeChance, his 3rd of the year, and 2nd against the Flyers. So 2 of his 3 have come against this Philadelphia club. All right, Islanders on a forecheck here. Francine got it up ahead to center. Here's Deneen. Deneen shot wide on and offside.
That's trying to stay in the lineup is scoring a goal. Whether it's a big goal or any kind of a goal, but Scott LeChance has opened the scoring for the Islanders
during the mid part of the season. And although he's been winning lately, he's been giving up quite a few goals. I mentioned the Flyers winning with good offense. Wilkie will dump the puck in. 9:50 to go in the opening. Oh, going down hard that time behind the goal was Darius Kasparaitis. He gets back up. Kasparaitis doesn't stop him from checking Brindamore. Now the Islanders trying to tie up the puck. Green battling with Renberg. Wilkie had jumped up on the play at the hash marks. He'll control it. Here's a Lindros drive. Oh, and it nearly got the referee, Hogarth, or rather Koharski. And now back to pick it up. The Flyers in their own zone. That could have been a disaster for the poor referee, Don Koharski, when Lindros fires a bullet that almost got him.
We often talk about fans at the hockey game keeping their eye on the puck at all times. You'll get an idea there that the referee does as well.
Galley has it for the Flyers. Islanders have partially changed on the fly. Baskey will have to chase back with Conroy. Hextall drives it hard. All the way by Tippett. King rink wide for Thomas. Moving in on Galley. Thomas shot just missed far side. King hammered along the boards, battling Tippett. In comes Ryan McGill. Double team. King looking for the breakup, but instead it's Conroy. Conroy across the line, wrists one wide. Hextall around the boards for Derek King, run into by Dave Tippett. And Steve Thomas will push it to center. Behind the play, a delayed penalty call. One of the Islanders taken down. Derek King gets up slowly, skates to the bench. The touch made by the Flyers, and will have an interference call.
Penalty kill against.
Back it'll go to the right point. Tom Kerbers. Hogue on with Ferraro and Flatley. Flatley given room here. Back to the point. Group. Hogue watched by Lindros over there. Now Lindros going after him. Hogue looking to set it up. Ferraro out in front off the skate of Flatley. Hogue recovers. Back to Krupp. Through a screen. Knocked down in front. Never got through. Krupp to pick it up. Flatley. Herbers taps it now to Hogue. Nobody in front now. Hogue looking for help. Krupp moves up on the play. Instead, Kerbers from the blue line. Wrist one. Tipped wide. Hogue to get it. 1:10 on the power play left. But drive sticked away as he one-timed that one. Flatley behind the net. Ferraro could reach it. Hogue chasing with Racine. Good job by Racine to get there and clear the zone. Pass by Kerbers too far. Ferraro will chase Racine into the corner, but the touch-up is made. It'll be an icing call on the Islanders as defenseman Racine. They were getting for his offensive prowess. Disappointing player. Never achieved the status they expected as a #1 draft pick. Islanders now trying to cash in on this power play. King in the corner with Thomas. Flyer player has lost his stick, but he dives to poke it out. That was Kevin Deneen. And it comes all the way back into the Islanders zone. 25 seconds to go in the Islander power play. 6:45 to go in the opening period. 1-0 Islanders on Scott LeChance's 3rd goal of the year. Here's LeChance. Coming to center. Malakoff across the blue line. Works his way in. Shoots high. Good shot that time by Malakoff, but he missed the net. Back at the right point. Here's Turgeon. Turgeon as the power play expires. Shoots right through the crease wide. Picked up by Malakoff. He'll drive one. Knocked down. Thomas, who lost his helmet. King knocked off his stick by Tippett. Back behind the net it goes. Turgeon. In front for Thomas. He couldn't get to it. And it's kept it at the right point by King. They'll sweep behind the net. Turgeon and Galley there. Galley will get there first. Up to Kevin Dineen. Dineen to Recchi, and as Dineen gets the return pass, the whistle blows.
Brightus, he'll be my guest at the end of the period. Derek King back in the lineup after being benched last night. We'll see how he does from here on. Barry?
All right, Stan, getting some power play opportunities, but unable to cash in, and Derek certainly struggling of late. Has 1 goal in his last 5 and only 2 goals in his last 15 games. All right, here's Racine back inside his own line. Broken up by David Maley, on with Mick Vukota and Keith Acton. Vasky shoots one in. Roussel will steer it to Racine. Islanders have outshot the Flyers 9-7, but the Islanders right now holding a 1-0 lead. As the Flyers, Recchi will dump it in. Hextall goes to the corner. Got it deflected, drove it around the boards. Vukota runs into Zettler, knocked him down. Racine and Acton go for that. Puck tapped around. Acton trying to get the puck. He's got Vukota. Recchi right on with a big shot. Great save, Roussel. Robbing Mick Vukota. What a play by Acton to set up Vukota as the puck disappears into the crowd.
Philadelphia were all gathering over trying to take a piece out of the hide of Dave Maley. Acton craftily grabbed the puck and fed it to Mick Vukota, standing in front of the net. Take a look at the replay as Maley over on the far side. There's 1, 2, 3 Philadelphia, almost 4 of them, and then beautiful play by Keith Acton, who was honored before the game. There's the shot by Vukota. Mick couldn't hold his balance, trying too hard to get to the rebound. Good setup, though, by Keith Acton.
Mick looking for goal number 3. He had one crazy goal last year against the Flyers that he banked in off the sideboards. The goalie caught out of position. Here's Kasparaitis. Sticked away by Roussel. Back behind the net. Green right through the crease. Group moves up, tips it nicely to Delgarno. McGinnis sweeps it around. Green will go after it in the corner. Puck battled for. Delgarno trying to help out. Finley is there as well. And the puck squirts to center where it's recovered by Marty McGinnis. Group drives it in. 4:20 to go in this opening period. 1-0 Islanders. Wilkie up the middle. Brindamore now to Lindros. Moving in on Kasparaitis. Again, Kasparaitis dumps it. Crowd delights. Up the boards it goes. Green up ahead. McGinnis 2-on-1 if they hurry. Up ahead, here's Flatner. Delgarno back to Kasparaitis. Trying to feed McGinnis in front. Here's Green in front. Knocked down by a player up ahead. Here's Renberg on a break. Group trying to catch up. Renberg's backhander stopped by Hextall. Michael Renberg, who's been red hot of late, stopped that time on the backhander. And here's Travis Green. Off the stick of Steve Thomas. McGill will chase after it. Instead, Roussel clears it away. Turgeon knocks it behind the net. Thomas trying to get to it. Knocked down from behind by Galley with a big hit. Malakoff and Baranek there. The puck goes all the way down as Vasky chases back to go for it. Watched by Dineen up ahead to Turgeon. Malakoff. Turgeon trying to make a nifty move. Got around Galley, moving in. His shot blocked by Ryan McGill and disappears into the crowd.
Game opens up just for a few moments. Couple of end-to-end rushes. Renberg gets an opportunity. A backhander stopped by Hextall. Then Turgeon at the other end of the ice, trying to do one of his pinpoint shots, trying to set up a screen. Eric Lindros. Good hit by Kasparaitis. There's the pass. Watch the left hand here of Lindros. He tries to fight off the check, but Kasparaitis got in underneath the hand, got a hold of his left leg with his hip, and tipped him over. Good hit by Kasparaitis.
Well, if you like hitting, it's worth the price of admission when these two guys go for it.
Well, you can see the numbers that he scored last night against the Islanders. He is always effective. He said he gets used to players coming out, trying to key on him, particularly defensemen. The Islanders were using Huey Kruppen, Kasparaitis last night.
Well, despite the knee injury, he looks to be in fine form. That knee injury, of course, cost him 14 games earlier this year. Hextall will hold on to the puck as Andre Faust was bearing it on. Now Faust and LaChance, a couple of former college hockey opponents, forward line, and he's been getting a pretty good chance to play. Pushing and shoving going on there. Curvis and Tippett. Good job by Tippett. Got it to Conroy. Flatley. Tip to center. Ferraro going after that puck. Zettler knocks down Hogue as he shot the puck in. Knocked down. LaChance tried to clear. Tippett off the stick of Faust. And we got a late whistle, and a high stick on the play is going to be called by the linesman.
He's being overruled.
Right now, Eric Lindros has come on, so is Darius Kasparidis. That's a matchup that Al Arbor wants out there defensively. As it shot in hard around the boards, Renberg couldn't reach it. Krupp trying to get it out. Race to center by Travis Green. Makes the shot, gets this one high off the glass. And Renberg rolls it to center. Tipped in by Renberg. Here comes Hextall again, wandering to play it in the corner. Lindros sends in front, knocked to the corner. Brindamore. Chopped at by Finley and recovered now by Huey Krupp. With 2 minutes to go in this opening period. Scott LaChance, the only goal scorer so far. Here's Lindros working his way in. He and Kasparidis. Kasparidis angled him now. Kasparidis got stuck in the face with a stick. No call. A lead up ahead. Here's Turgeon coming in. Oh, and it hit the post and deflected to the corner. Pierre Turgeon had Roussel beaten as he broke in on a 2-on-1. Back to Turgeon. Bounces off his stick. He and Recchi collide for the moment. Dineen's pass picked off. Ryan McGill with 1:25 to go back to play it. Baranek rolls it to center, 2-on-1. Here's Recchi with Dineen. Recchi closing. Broken up in front beautifully by the Islanders, Dennis Vaske. And Malakov comes back to pick it up. Malakov ridden to the boards, and Recchi will pick it up.
That's an excellent play by Dennis Vaske.
Oh, drive right on. Good save on the shot by Mark Recchi. And with a minute to go in the period, Ray Ferraro pushes to center, gets around Dineen, rolls it down the wing, run into along the boards that time. Now whistle down, no whistle. Ryan McGill pulled him down. A battle along the boards. Now Dineen picks it up. Crowd wanted a penalty. Up ahead to Recchi at the end of his shift. Doesn't have much left, but he'll turn, get it to Galley. Broken up by Hogue, and Flatley will pick it up with 39 seconds. Vaske pushing and shoving is going to be called for a penalty right here. And he goes after the Flyer player, Joseph Baranek, again. As the linesmen now step in.
That was in retaliation. Dennis Vaske's mad because he was retaliating to what Baranek had done to him. He gets the penalty. He gets caught. That makes you twice as mad. Baranek said something to him. That added to it. Some of the frustration. There's the play. Dennis Vaske, number 37. Good coverage on Baranek. Here's Baranek. Slash across the leg. Boom. He gives him a bit of a chop with the stick across the shoulders. Gets caught. Gets a penalty. So with 36.5 seconds remaining in the first period, Dennis Vaske, who just made an outstanding play on a 2-on-1 break by Philadelphia, is in the box.
Kind of interesting, it was Vaske who got caught up on a 2-on-1 the other night that resulted, or last night, in a Flyer goal early that helped erase a 2-0 Islander lead. And Al Arbor's penalty killing has been excellent. Really, even though they gave up 1 and 3 to the Red Hot Flyers the other night, with the exception of that game against Washington in Landover. Now Racine behind the net. Hextall will clear it hard around. Racine moving up. Tied up by McGinnis. It's played by Renberg. They get it to Lindros. Lindros wheeling in front for Renberg, and it rolled off his stick as he was checked. 18 seconds ago as you see the time remaining. Honda's trying to get it out. Racine with a shot. Deflected wide. Lindros all over Hextall. Now in the corner. Kasparidis after Galley kicks it around. Renberg to play it. Right point to Racine. He'll send it front. Knocked down by Kasparidis. McGinnis gets to it as he comes off ice. Delayed whistle. The period comes to an end anyway. And the Flyer power play will be negated as Kasparidis was hauled down. And the Flyers are going to be called for a penalty here.
Eric Lindros, I believe, on Kasparidis is getting the penalty. The referee is assigning it now. He's telling Gary Galley about it as the Islanders head to the dressing room, feeling very good about the way they've handled themselves. And Philadelphia, in the first period, only the 1 goal. That was Scott LaChance.
Kasparidis drawing the penalty on Eric Lindros for high sticking.
Let's take a look before we cut away. There's the play by Lindros. Of course, Darius Kasparidis has learned how to take a dive at the right time. As the period closed out with the horn, Kasparaitis was pointing at Lindros saying, "I gotcha."
Fischler.
Thank you, Barry. Darius Kasparaitis showing what Rock'em Sock'em hockey is all about. The Islanders leading 1-0, and some of the best hits I've seen all season in that first period, particularly you and Eric Lindros. Take a look and tell me what's happening.
Our son Lindros got puck, and I just want to finish his checks. I want to play his game and play against us last night, you know?
Now watch his stick. What's he doing?
Yeah, he's on high sticking.
Did that hurt?
Yeah, you know, it's good I wear a shield on. I have visor on.
Another one there.
Yeah, he's got penalty right now.
That's where he got the penalty.
Yeah.
Now, is it hard to check him because he's so big?
No, I told last season it's easy to hit big guy, you know?
Now, were you waving to him?
Yeah.
What were you trying to tell him?
Tell him go in the penalty box.
As if he didn't know. Darius, we're all excited about the Olympics right now, and I'm wondering whether you have a favorite team. Who are you rooting to win now?
Oh, no, I think left Sweden and Canada team, two teams, and I want a Canadian team win Olympic gold medals. Because I played 2 years ago against this team, you know, and we win. Now I want to win Canadian. I want to see Canadians get gold medals.
Now, according to my ears, in the first period, the fans were yelling, "Darius, Darius." Yeah. That's music to your ears.
Yeah, but, you know, I told before game I want to hear Darius again on the stands. And I tell I'm going to go crazy tonight. Like, I want to do my job, best job on ice.
In this business of body checking the way you do, it's a very, very difficult one because you have to time it just right.
Yeah.
Can't afford to miss.
Yeah, sometimes Coach Greeny tell me, you know, during game, be careful with your hits because sometimes you have stations 2 and 1. And, but it's hard to take time, you know, get time, right time to hit some guy. But, you know, I try to do like I try when I see 1-4 behind me, I go hit right away, you know.
Watching you, as I did last year and through the playoffs and into this season, it seems to me that you like to hit stars, Jagr, Lemieux, Lindros, more than the lesser players. Is that true?
No, it's not true, because when I hit a regular guy, people doesn't see this, you know. When I hit star, all people see this, you know, like, it's like rules. When you play against regular guys, nobody see what you do, you know. But when you hit Lemieux, like Lemieux, Lindros, Messier, everybody go crazy on stands.
Okay, thanks very much for coming.
You're welcome.
Barry, Eddie?
All right, Stan, a little huffing and puffing, a very active first period for Darius Kasparaitis. Former Islander rolling it behind the net. Lindros and Kasparaitis on together. Brindamore runs into Kasparaitis rather meekly in center ice. Puck knocked away by Travis Green. Here's breaking in McGinnis. He shoots. Save. Roussel stood his ground. And the rebound will be cleared back down the ice. Marty McGinnis with a good scoring opportunity. And now Uwe Krupp back to pick it up. Hextall to leave for Kasparaitis. Instead, he'll play it around the boards. Covered in the corner by Brindamore. He's got Lindros in front. Comes to Hextall. He'll tip it now to Kasparaitis. Chased from behind by Lindros. Lindros knocked him down from behind. No whistle. Here's Brindamore with Renberg breaking toward the net. Tipped away by McGinnis. Good job by McGinnis against Galley to turn and get it to Brad Delgarno. And Delgarno will roll it down as the Islanders will change on the fly here. With 3:10 gone in the second, they lead it 1-0. Galley. Up the middle comes Dineen. His shot blocked that time in front. Galley, or rather Dineen trying to get it back. Picked off by the Islanders. Good job that time by Vasky blocking Dineen. And King leads it 3-on-3. King across the line. Broken up, trying to do it himself. And here's Galley quickly up to Dineen. He's got Recchi with him. Baranek gets through to the corner. Behind the net, Recchi's got it. Centers it out in front. Knocked away, Baranek. King will get to it. Down to Turgeon with Thomas 2-on-2. Pierre making a move on McGill. He's in! Score!
have been waiting to be electrified. Pierre Turgeon just did that. Derek King gets the puck loose here. There, backhand pass to Turgeon as he comes through the center ice area. A little dump, gets himself some room, and then a blistering shot in the top right-hand corner. Well placed, hard shot by Pierre Turgeon has given the Islanders a 2-0 lead. What a drive.
Well, he turned around defenseman Ryan McGill there. And he gets his 22nd goal of the year and third against the Flyers this year. Well, Pierre had only one shot last night, has 5 so far in this game, and playing a far different game than last night. Timeout on the ice early in the second.
To do. That's a good example of it there.
That a big goal for the Islanders coming early here in the second period, and again the Islanders in a similar situation to last night. They had a 2-0 lead midway through the second period. Let's see if they get that third goal. Instead, Tippett takes it away. He's got a 2-on-1 with Big Dave Brown. Tippett shot wide. And Acton will push it to center with Vakota. Mick had a good scoring chance. You recall in the opening period, stopped by Roussel, set up by Acton. Vakota battling with Zettler. They push and shove. Tippett will clear it. Knocked down nicely by LaChance. Run into it, the blue line by Brown. Mealy scrumming it along the boards with Racine and Tippett and Acton. And finally the puck bounces to Zettler. Vakota will chop it back in. Mealy will head off. Vakota stays on with Acton. Curvis off the skate of Vakota. Now Vakota and Acton will complete the change as they go off. And replaced right now by Brad Delgado and Travis Green. 5 minutes gone here in the second. 2-0 Islanders. Kasparaitis cruises to center. Deflected by McGill behind the net. And the Flyers galley up to Brindamore. Down the right wing, breaking is Renberg. Shoots! Oh, and Hextall makes a fine save.
Best save of the hockey game. Renberg gets loose on the right wing side, and he's a left-hand shot, so he's got a better angle to shoot from, and he uses the speed that he possesses to get the puck. Beautiful job at the blue line. Here comes Gary Galley as he moved the puck up. Brindamore. Renberg kept himself onside. There's the shot. Good save by Ron Hextall.
You know, Ed, he's so big. He's about 6'2½", 220, but he has great speed.
Oh, he does. He's very quick on his feet, very quick with the hands. They have him in the Flyers guide as 185 pounds. That's his left leg.
All right, they've changed that at some. Here's a shot from a screen in front. Galley with that screen shot, and Renberg looking to tip it. Lindros into the corner for Renberg. Kasparaitis trying to hold him off. Now bounces back to Galley. Brindamore scoops it up. Scoop takes him off. Good play by Huey. Chopping at it, Delgado. Hand passes ahead. It's a 2-on-1, but no, they call it on a hand pass.
The last 2 years, he's had 33 and 37 goals respectively, so you know he knows how to put the puck in the net. He got 2 last night in the overtime win for Philadelphia over the Islanders.
And he had gone 12 games without a goal until he got 2 against Montreal in that wild game Monday night, which they won 8-7, and of course added 2 more last night, including that overtime game winner. Mark Recchi, who's had a difficult time adjusting to center since moved to that line, with Brindamore moving up to the Lindros line. He's out there right now. Spassky dumps it in, flatly trying to get to it. Hoag's got it. He's got Ferraro in front. Hoag tries to jam it. Stopped in front. Good stop by Roussel. Zettler and Hoag push and shove. Hoag will chase the puck down. Now Malakoff moved up on the play. Faust takes him to the boards and throws him down right in front of Koharski. Play continues up ice. As it'll roll into the Islanders' zone, Hextall tips it away from Conroy. Up here's Ferraro to center to Hoag. And Recchi will throw it back into his own zone to Zettler. .13:20 to go here in the second period. 2-0 Islanders. Malakoff run into it center ice, tipped by Ferraro. Here's King. Banging in the corner with Racine. Kevin Dineen. Outlets ahead now to Faust. Here's Recchi with Dineen cutting toward the net. Recchi centers, but it's intercepted by Ferraro. Slowly comes to center. Ferraro will dump it in at the end of a shift. He and Flatley head off. Steve Thomas joins Derek King on the ice with Pierre Turgeon. Turgeon the steal. Turgeon is in. Shot saved. The rebound. Turgeon. Save again. And Roussel covers it up between the pads.
Flyers trying to make a cross-ice pass. Turgeon anticipated. Held the puck. Then he ripped a shot. Rebound off the pads of Roussel. He couldn't get enough of it. And then Dominic Roussel was able to stop the play by closing his legs on it. But a good play as Turgeon grabbed that errant pass, and he got 2 chances at it.
Joseph Baranek not scoring and making a bad defensive play there as he put it right on the stick of Pierre. Travis Green now on the draws. The kid line is on. Delgado back to Krupp. Save made by Roussel. Delgado looking to draw. The penalty went down. Green chopping away. Krupp after the puck. Here's Green. Right on! Delgado trying to get to the rebound, and a quick whistle. Koharski stopping play, but the Islanders getting pressure on it, getting the shots on goal.
That's what they have to do, just exactly that. We talked about it in the pregame show. We talked about it at the top, just before they dropped the puck. We talked about it in the first period. If the Islanders continue to forecheck down deep, they'll get turnovers. They'll pick up loose pucks. All of this started about 2 shifts ago when somebody drove the puck in to Pat Flatley's corner, the old-fashioned way. Bank it off the corner, keep it away from the goaltender, and Flatley, he worked his way in, got a hold of the puck, and the Islanders haven't been out of that end of the ice since.
What was that remark by Jim Schoenfeld? Keep it simple, stupid. It's not a hard game if you just play it basically. Now here's Delgado in the corner. Battling with Green. Back to Kasparaitis. He'll take a blast wide as McGinnis was cutting in front. Krupp has it blocked by Lindros, recovered by Delgado. McGinnis watched by Renberg. Good job by this supposed checking line, but the puck goes by Kasparaitis. Here comes Hextall. Hextall way out. You see him there, but Krupp will get to it. As we approach the halfway mark in this hockey game, LaChance in the first, Turgeon here in the second. It's 2-0 Islanders. Off of Delgado, bouncing around, kicked to center by Huey Krupp. And the Flyers' Ryan McGill hoisted to the Islander line. Delgado, here's McGinnis. Turning back, goes down. McGinnis trying to hold it in. Taken by the big striding Eric Lindros. McGill, a feed to Galley. Lindros breaks toward the net. Galley for Dineen. Dineen in front, tipped wide that time by Joseph Baranek. And as Kasparaitis tries a headman, goes all the way down wide of the goal, race for the puck. Racine gets there, but there's no whistle.
It went through the
goal crease. Yep. Now the Islanders back to pick it up. Paskey taken to the boards by Recchi. Baranek spun around, taken down by Malakov, and we're going to get a penalty call. On the Modell scoreboard, 10:57 to go, second period. Back with a Flyer power play. It's 2-0 Islanders.
There's Molokov, turns around. There, without the puck on his stick, he takes the Philadelphia forward down. That's a penalty for interference. The Islanders started to stick check for the first time in the second period. Philadelphia pushed them back into their end of the ice because of it.
Flyers 0 for 2 on the power play. Brindamore spun around. Kasparaitis hit by Brindamore. Lindros looking on along with Krupp. They scrum it out. Acton, good job. Got it free to Flatley. Islanders again have done yeoman-like work, especially here at home on the penalty killing, where they have moved up to 8th in the league. They were down at the bottom most of the year, but they've been excellent lately. Easily stopped by Hextall. He'll lob it up the middle. Not a good choice by Recchi that time. Lobbed it toward the goal. Now Racine goes back to pick it up. Flatley heads off on the penalty kill.
As a penalty killer, you love it when a player hangs on the puck just a little too long. That gives you the opportunity to get into his face, get your stick on the puck.
Kasparaitis, it deflects out in front toward the blue line, knocked away by the alert Marty McGinnis. Racine chased by Benoit Hogue. Now to Galley. Brindamore, nice play by McGinnis. He's all over the ice here. Kasparaitis runs into one Flyer, the other Flyer gets knocked down. It was Recchi and Brindamore that both collided. He took 2 out for the price of 1 there, Ed.
That's a timely hit.
Here's Lindros back the other way to Recchi. Given room. Recchi looking to Galley at the point. Back to Lindros. Galley on a screen, tipped wide. Huey Krupp after it. He's run into by Deneen. Recchi's pass blocked. Good play by LaChance. Krupp gets to it and will lob it, but not out. Kept in by Galley. Bouncing puck. Recchi run over by Delgado on a big hit. Back to the point it goes, and now the player's down hurt. Huey Krupp, and the whistle finally blows as Krupp still down on the ice with 9:12 to go here. He's on his knees, as you see.
2 or 3 players collide, and Huey Krupp goes down. Where does he appear to be? Oh, it's a chin. He got a stick. I think that's what happened. When 3 players collide like that, often the stick gets popped up, and that caught him on the chin. And I say, I'm glad to see that. And someone at home is going to say, what a ruthless thing to say. What I'm saying is, 3 different times this season, Huey Krupp has had serious injuries, and he gets cut on the chin. It could have been a whole lot worse. He won't miss any time, I don't think. Mark Recchi, I believe, along with Delgado and Huey Krupp as they collided. I think Recchi's stick may have bounced up in the air. There's the backhand shot, bang. Brad Delgado running into Recchi. I believe that helped the stick come up into Huey Krupp's face. As we get another look at it, bouncing loose puck. Gary Galley always near the puck, particularly on the power play. Look at the hit by Brad Delgado and the stick into the face of Krupp.
One of the best hits Brad Delgado has delivered as Krupp will head to the locker room for repairs. Philadelphia, by the way, has only 2 shots since the last minute of the first period. And the Islanders doing a good job keeping them from putting it on the net right here.
The determination as to whether Huey Krupp goes to the dressing room or not is generally made by the trainer, the head trainer, Ed Taberski. He looks at the wound and sees that it will probably need stitching, and the sooner they do it, the better. I would expect that Huey Krupp could be back before this period's over, if not for sure to start the third.
All right, Vasky out there to kill the penalty with LaChance. Power play still has plenty of time left. Did you see it? Down to 10. Flyers feed it down low and jam right on. Save made. Brindamore running in to Hextall. A big collision and goal. They play on. And still Malakoff in the box. Right point shot. Knocked down in front. And cleared down the ice by Travis Green.
Boy, good job by Scott LaChance to block the shot. The Islanders were scrambling and in trouble.
Icing will be the call, but a big kill by the Islanders. Unlike last night when they allowed the Flyers to score a goal at almost the exact time of the game to change the momentum, they do kill this penalty tonight.
2 shots on goal is what the Philadelphia power play managed. Take a look at Philadelphia moving in. That's Brindamore from the side. All he wants to do is that, create some havoc, and the shot stopped by Vasky. The shot by Galley. That's Galley. Here's the play by Scott LaChance. There, blocked the shot beautifully, and that allowed the Islanders to clear it down the ice.
Time at 7, as Hextall will drive the puck around. Battle in the corner. Turgeon there. Squirts free. Faust has it behind the net. Tippett can't get it as he was angled off by Curvers. The Islanders get it to center. Here's Turgeon moving in. He's joined by Thomas. Good job by Zettler to block the shot. Backhanded by Thomas just goes wide. Ryan McGill has it. Turgeon got up slowly after being checked by Zettler. Here's Tippett on a 3-on-3. LaChance in the corner. Now Derek King. 2-0 Islanders, under 8 minutes to go in this second period. King hit by Deneen as he shoots it in. And Jeff Finley to pick it up. Up now to Joseph Baranek, run into by Flatley. But Rob Wilk, delayed penalty coming up on the Islanders. Wilk across the line. Here's Recchi in the corner. Deneen chasing after it. Extra skater is on. Islanders trying to touch the puck, and they do. Let's go down to Stan Fischler.
Thanks very much, Barry. My guess at the end of the period is going to be Rob Zettler, who was one of the most popular Sharks. Now he winds up with the Philadelphia Flyers. Right now, the Islanders' problem is that they are not disciplining themselves enough, and they're getting penalties that they should avoid. Of course, they've got to kill this penalty if they want to keep that nice little cushion that they have. some pretty good performers so far in this hockey game, but what surprises me is that Dave Maley, who was so effective last night, isn't playing as much. Barry?
Indeed, he isn't, as Derek King is still seeing plenty of time on that first line. He was benched, as we pointed out last night, but key penalty kill coming up again. Steve Thomas in the box for roughing.
Well, the Islanders trying to keep the game level up where they need to keep it, to keep Philadelphia from gaining the advantage of the Islanders' end of the ice. Thomas, of course, a sparky guy, and he was just hammering away at everybody. He got a roughing penalty. Important here for the Islanders to make sure Philadelphia doesn't get a power play goal.
Chance number 4 for the Flyers. Galley whips it to the right point to Racine. Renberg is on right now with Brindamore, and here's a drive by Renberg, knocked away. Lindros sends behind the net, bouncing puck. Flatley chopping away. Lindros recovers. Lindros looking. Galley. Lindros moves it down low. Brindamore couldn't handle it. Checked by Kasparaitis. Kept the puck alive to the left point to Galley, given room. Now to Brindamore. Nobody in front. Here's a drive, blocked that time, taken by Racine. Flatley, a good job. Acton trying to get it out. Still inside the blue line. Acton checked by Renberg. And to pick it up is Vasky. Got it to the red line, and Racine has it there with 1:13 to go on the power play. Lindros left it at the blue line. Acton pulled down by Lindros. No call. Keith looking for the penalty, and Flatley will dump it in. Racine back behind the net. Islanders change penalty killers as Marty McGinnis has come on with Malakoff and LeChance. Brindamore carrying in, knocked away by Hogue. Will have a breakout. Hogue moving in, joined by McGinnis. Hogue in deep, backhander save, Roussel.
It's amazing what speed will do for you, and when Benoit Hogue decides to use his, he makes a big difference for the Islanders in a hockey game. He just out and out beat the Philadelphia Flyer power play to the puck. This was Brindamore as he carried the puck in, made the mistake of letting himself get checked, and here comes Benoit Hogue. Look at it, he just leaves everybody behind, tried to put it through the 5-hole of Dominic Roussel, but he slammed the door shut, and Hogue at his best, skating with the puck. Puck seemed to bounce on him just as he took the backhand, and he got it too high.
Racine got back there, just maybe to try to nudge him a little bit there, but he got a good shot off. So the face-off now back as Roussel has to get ready for this face-off with Travis Green and Mark Recchi. Islanders control. In front, the shot by Green blocked, got it back again, and Wilkie gets it back. Here's Galley. 30 seconds now remaining on the power play. Carrying in is the rookie Wilkie. In front, LeChance. Not out, kept in by Deneen. Wilkie to Recchi. Deneen cuts toward the net. Recchi into the corner. Baranek. Watch closely that time. Islanders not giving up any play. Recchi back to Baranek. Pounded along the boards. Knocked down by Malakoff. And Delgarno clears as the power play will run out momentarily.
I tell you, a defenseman that's done a very good job in killing these penalties is Scott LeChance. He's disciplined. He holds his ground.
Turgeon centering one now in front. Thomas whacks it to the corner. 5:20 to go here in the second period, and the Islanders leading it 2-0. LeChance and Turgeon, the goal scorers tonight. Kasparaitis races to center across the line, carrying in. Backhander knocked down by Roussel. Thomas, here's Turgeon, a shot block. Turgeon has his legs tonight. Thomas whips it cross ice. Kasparaitis cross ice pass intercepted by Galley, but Kasparaitis got it back. McGill drives it by Turgeon, and Vasky will have to hustle back. Should be an icing here, and Vasky will touch up, and the icing call.
Very nice, and it's timely, and
right.
I'm sure he's a very happy man because of it.
Veterans Committee, the baseball writers, baseball people, and announcing today that he has been inducted or will be inducted into the Hall of Fame along with the deceased Leo DeRocha. Here's Renberg, the dangerous Swede, dropping it. That whistled wide as right in front was Brindamore looking for a tip. Up comes Green with 4 minutes to go in the period. Renberg will get to the puck. Picked off at center by the Islanders. King run into. And Vasky will lead the rush. Take a shot right on. Green couldn't get to the rebound. King shot blocked into the corner. Good job again by Vasky, the defenseman moving up effectively. Thomas shot from a sharp angle. Knocked down by Roussel off his pad. Thomas again gets it back. Green right on and a good stick save. Good work by the Islanders. Good passing down low, Ed.
Well, that's down low, and that's what we've talked about this whole hockey game. Get after them down low, force them to make mistakes, cough up the puck, and that's what they continue to do.
Icing the call. The faceoff coming back in the Flyer zone as you look at Vladimir Malikov. By the way, Islander hockey is brought to you by Mobile, an advanced Formula Mobile 1. He had a couple of assists in last night's game and has been picking up his assist total, as the Islanders certainly need him, as we've mentioned down the stretch. You've got Turgeon, Hextall, and Malikov, perhaps in each of their positions, among the better players in the league in that area. They all have to play at a higher level.
There's no question. The Islanders have to all play up at the level that they're capable of. You cannot have, well, let me put it another way. They're only as strong as the weakest link of the chain. And if you have everybody playing at their capability, they can be a very effective team.
As Al Auber would say, we can't have any passengers. Everybody's got to pull their own weight on this club. They're not talented enough to get by with just a few guys playing every night. Turgeon tipped in front by Thomas. Up now to Tippett. Turgeon back playing defense. Tippett tied up by Lachance, but he manages to dump it in. Hextall. Tippett's got it. Bounces over, Faust stick. Lachance. McGill will drive it right back in. Flyers had not cleared the zone, so a delayed offside. Had they played it, we're down to 2:45 to go in second period action. Purvis will have to get to it. Thomas runs into the referee there. We get a whistle for an offside. Here's the aforementioned Zettler. Baranek getting in. He's got the angle. Baranek save made. The net knock off the mooring. The Islanders, let's see if they're going to say they knocked it off there. They may be a little fortunate.
From the best chance to be in front of it, and he did it perfectly.
There's a look at Dominic Roussel, among the leaders in wins in the National Hockey League this year. He's seen a lot of ice time, with Soderstrom playing infrequently. Frederick Chabot, recently acquired from Montreal as the backup goalie. Here's Lindros bearing down. Behind Renberg. Centers one, tipped off the stick of Marty McGinnis, and Lindros recovers. Lindros loses now. Galley able to hold it in. Del Grano couldn't get it out. Renberg cross-ice, the shot blocked by Vasky. Good play on Brindamore as he blocked the shot, and the Islanders will take an icing here as they fire it down.
Eric Lindros trying to break the siege that the Islanders have had them under, as he got out of his own end of the ice, set up a couple of scoring opportunities. But the young Islander defense, particularly Dennis Vasky, out on the ice for this shift. I'm a little surprised again because the Buick group, Darius Kasparaitis, have been out on the ice each time he's been out before and have done an excellent job, although he got into the offensive zone. Vasky and Kasparaitis this time, a good job keeping them from getting too close.
Now, speaking of defensemen, physical defenseman, Richard Pilon is playing tonight for Salt Lake City, his first game since, of course, suffering the injury to his shoulder. He'll play tonight and tomorrow. They're playing in Las Vegas, and the Islanders expect him back here Sunday. That's good news for the Islanders.
Well, it gives them a lot of flexibility to have him back in the lineup, and it helps a lot with the penalty killing, I'm sure.
And with Chenault suffering an injury to his shoulder, he may be out a little bit. Now Racine bumped by Ferraro, sends it around the boards. In front, tip wide. Oh, Ferraro on the doorstep there. Now Ferraro runs into a man along the boards. Baranek just knocks the puck back the other way. As we approach the 1-minute mark left here in the second period. Wahoo poked away. Here's Baranek to Deneen. In front for Baranek. Backhander, good stop by Hextall. Recchi trying to feed out in front for Deneen. Lachance run into by Deneen. Deneen gives him a bit of a facial there. Intercepted by Malikov. And the rolling puck recovered by Ferraro with 38 seconds to go in the period. Flyers, who have been red hot offensively of late, but shut out so far. Deflection, hold stride, save. Ferraro just couldn't get to the rebound. He overskated it, actually went by it.
I was thinking more in terms of Hope giving it to Ferrero directly in front of the net.
20 seconds to go in the period. Flyers have the puck. Recchi broken up. Still loose. Picked up by Thomas. He's got Turgeon with him. 10 seconds to go. Here's Thomas. Shot it wide as it was partially broken up. Thomas bounces into the corner with a good check against the defenseman McGill. And the period will end right now. A good period for the Islanders as they pulled off the high-scoring Philadelphia Flyers. And Ron Hextall, after giving up 5 goals and looking a little shaky in the second half of last night's game, takes a 2-0 lead to the locker room against Dominic Roussel. And Hextall working on his 3rd consecutive shutout here at home. And that has never been done by an Islander goaltender.
Games in the National Hockey League. There's the young fella. Just loves hockey. He asks all kinds of questions. We had the headset on him. He was listening to some of the game. Now he's checking with Dad and telling him, Dad, did you know about this and this?
He may be a new critic or critiquer right now.
I'm sure Brian Burke's got enough of those.
Here's Gasparitis. Taken down by Brindamore. No whistle by Don Koharski. And here's Travis Green. This line has played very well against this Lindros line all night. And Lindros out there right now with Renberg. They have not been much offensively tonight, but they're always dangerous. Here's a shot by Lindros right on Renberg, trying to get the rebound. Poked into the corner. Green bumping with Galley, who jumped up on the play. Gasparitis knocked it away. Delgarno falls down with Lindros on top of him, as Marty McGinnis will get the puck out to center. You can bet Lindros will be out there a lot in this 3rd period.
Huey Krupp is back in the lineup. We should report. Remember, he went off to get stitches in his chin.
Here's Kevin Dineen firing it into the far corner. Baranek, gloved by Hextall, and with Mark Recchi bearing in. And Kevin Dineen, he'll hold on for a face-off. 1 minute and 1 second into this 3rd period. The Islanders with a 2-0 lead. Ron Hextall, who has not given up a goal here at home in over 9 periods. You have to go back to the Tampa Bay game, which he won 2-1 the last time that he gave up a goal.
A lot of statistics there. Mark Recchi, 200th NHL goal last night. I'll also tell you that it was last season that he broke Bobby Clark's record. It's a Philadelphia record of 119 points. He broke it with 123.
He's also their leading scorer this year. Flyers have it in center. Again, talking to Recchi last night, he indicated that playing center, not his natural position, and he's struggling a little bit with it. Here's Dineen with Recchi. Recchi trying to get to that puck. And back it's played by Racine. Baranek will chop it in. Islander player double team right in front of it with Steve Thomas, hit hard by Zettler and another player. Play continues. Vasquez will get it out to center. Racine chased by Turgeon. Here's King getting to the loose puck. He's got Thomas in front. Didn't get it to him. Here's King. Gasparitis. Back to King. High and wide. Tippett run into by Gasparitis. Now Krupp will play the bouncing puck. Gets it to Gasparitis. Off of Krupp's stick. Faust on with Tippett now. Derek King. Off the stick of Wilkie. Flatley chasing Wilkie. 2 minutes, 15 seconds gone here in the 3rd. 2-0 Islanders. And Jeff Finley will chase back. Islanders in a critical situation. They have to come up with a win. Here's a steal by Hogue. Roussel, another good save. He has played well. A lot of turnovers, a lot of giveaways by the Flyers in their own zone. And he has come up with some big saves. Tippett will dump it in with Conroy and Faust. Hextall drives it by Faust all the way back down the ice. They'll wave off icing. Islanders changing on the fly. Gasparitis has come on with Travis Green. A steal again by Hogue. Roussel. Here's Hogue. In front, shot right on. Flatley Stone. Or checked up Brad Delgarno, I beg your pardon, Stone. Back they come. Renberg rolling it toward Hextall. And he'll whack it out to Delgarno. Delgarno couldn't play it, and Galley does. Again, Dominic Roussel really coming up big on some of these plays as the Islanders' Marty McGinnis chops it in front of the net. Delgarno hauled down behind. Delgarno playing a tough game tonight. Now Brad out of center, blocked by Lindros. Green sweeps the puck free into the corner. reverses. Delgado took down Lindros for the moment. Pinching in is Kaspartas. Left point. McGinnis will cue it up. Bounces to the far corner. Galley chased by Delgado. This is the best I've seen Delgado play in a couple of weeks. And now Ryan McGill will come to center. Gains the red line and dumps it in. Good job by the Islanders, but it's broken up. Kaspartas up ahead to Turgeon. He's got Thomas with him. Thomas, hit the goalpost. Roussel never moved on that one. As Lindros in center, trying to chop it free. Picked up by Turgeon. Turgeon with Thomas. Turgeon keeps the puck alive now inside the line to Thomas. Taken to the boards. And Denis picks it up. 4:15 gone here in the third period. Islanders 2-0 lead. Racine. Malakoff with the big reach, breaks it up, but gives it back to Recchi. Recchi to the front of the net. Shot right on. Save on Denis. Rebound wide that time. Taken by Joseph Beranek was that shot. Cleared to center by Turgeon. Oh, the Islanders. The crowd buzzing. Racine.
Philadelphia trying to open the game up, and the Islanders can skate with them, so they don't have to worry about opening it up so much as they just want to make sure that they're stride for stride. Good coverage in the center ice area.
Icing the call. 15-13 to go in the third on the Modell scoreboard. It's the Islanders 2, Flyers nothing.
On turn quickly, Thomas. He does it so well. He gets it away quickly, and Roussel didn't have time to move, and then at the other end of the ice, the Islanders lose possession. Malakoff pops it up. Recchi, shot by Denis. Good stop by Hextall.
Back to the live action. Hogue firing from in front, missed the net. Faust kept in by Ferraro. Added to center. Curvers will chop it right back in. Islanders with a 2-0 lead as Jeff Finley tries a headman pass. Curvers back to pick it up. Captain Flatley knocked off his stick by Conroy. Curvers will run back to pick it up. Here's Scott LeChance. And Wahoe. Ray Ferraro. Ferraro. Tipped into the corner by Roussel. Wilkie headmans for Tippett. Tippett with Conroy, joined by Wilkie, the trailer. The drop for Wilkie. He shoots, Hextall the save. The rebound batted into the corner. Back to Galley at the left point. Conroy looking for help. Here's Faust. Good play by Hogue as he broke it up. Flatley dived, but he couldn't get it. And Tippett recovers.
Flatley, a long shift for him in the third period. He's had a lot of hard hockey as usual, just getting off the ice.
6 minutes gone here in period 3. 2-0 Islanders. Group up now to Delgado. He'll roll it down. McGill to pick it up. Eric Lindros tied up by Green rather. Lindros bumped by Marty McGinnis. McGill gets it up ahead to the big guy. Brindamore. Good job by Kaspartas. Took him down at the blue line. Boop around the boards. Brindamore will get to it. Checked by Curvers. Or rather McGinnis. Puck sent behind the net. Group battling Lindros. Centering pass out in front. Good shot right on save. Brindamore the rebound. Broken up by Group. Oh, 2 big plays defensively there. McGill has it tapped by McGinnis. And McGill will recover. Intercepted by Turgeon. The breakaway. Pierre's in. Shoots. Roussel the save.
Great action here in the third period.
On the Modell scoreboard. 13:02 to go in the third. It's still 2-0 Islanders.
This work ethic. Michael Renberg, and he put all that to work. Took it off his skate and hammered it at Hextall. Brindamore took a backhand shot that was broken up.
And here's Turgeon from right in front, missing. Turgeon, who has played well tonight. Now King in front for Turgeon. Vince gets the goal up, and Roussel got a piece of it with his pad as he was going down. Oh, Turgeon with so many chances tonight. He has one, but perhaps he might have a hat trick if he had better luck. Behind the net now. Islanders controlling. 34 shots directed at Roussel tonight. Here's King breaking with Thomas. And a delayed, we get an offside call coming up here.
Thomas on the right side looking for the puck. He thought it was coming. There's the difference between a winger when he moves into the center ice area, Barry. That was King up the middle. Had it been Turgeon, that puck would have been on the stick of Thomas. This before the commercial was the play. Turgeon stole the puck and went in all alone. This is a pretty play. Renberg, Turgeon, Renberg with a beautiful stop, challenged the shooter, made Turgeon make the first move, and then another opportunity for Turgeon, held the puck. Renberg made the first move, but he still was able to get the puck.
9 shots on goal for Pierre Turgeon, which is the most he has had as a New York Islander. And we still have 12:27 to go here in this third period. Remember last night he had a measly 1. Now the Flyers from center dump it in. Tippett. Hextall around the boards. Tippett running into Hogue. Jeff Finley. Conroy and Flatley go for it in the corner. Galley moves up on the play, trying to pry it free. Instead, Tom Kervis gets it. And it goes all the way down as Hogan tied up Finley. They'll call it icing here as Tippett touches up. Let's go down the ice side and join Stan Fischler.
Thank you, Barry. Well, it's no question down here that the Islanders have had all the better of the play, except for some lapses. What they have to be very careful about now is not getting a foolish penalty. This could put them in big trouble. But the defense as a whole has been playing well. I'm very impressed with Hextall's grasp of the game. He's making all the right moves so far, not going out too far, and he's moving the puck with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of vigor. But the Islanders have to watch for that one lapse, because this is the kind of game Philly can get right back in, Barry.
They're an explosive team, and that's a good point that Stan made. Hextall, who kind of wandered a little more last night, staying at home more tonight.
Excellent point, because when he starts to wander, he goes out, and players then skate by him, and they have the whole net to shoot at. He has played his angles very well.
All right, Flyers trailing 2-0 with 11:45 to go, have it deep in their own zone. Lindros out there again, matched up against Travis Green, who's done a marvelous job so far tonight. Renberg, a lead up for Lindros, moving in on Krug. Lindros in front. Down goes Hextall, but the puck knocked to the corner. Never got a shot off. Brindamore, hounded by 2 Islanders, knocked down. Puck knocked to center. Good defensive play by Delgrano. Up ahead, here's McGinnis, trying to get it by the defenseman. But it was taken away by Racine, and he'll shoot it back into the Islanders' zone. Game opening up a little bit here. Delgrano to Krug, tipped by McGinnis. See a lot of Galley here in this third period, their best offensive defenseman. Deneen chasing into the corner with Hextall. They collide there. Baranek, in comes Green, and the puck cleared by Galley down the ice. 10:50 to go as Wolf chases back to pick it up. They'll wave off icing. And Malakoff has it. A lead up ahead for breaking Turgeon, just broken up at the last moment. Turgeon looking for that breakaway. Mark Recchi knocked away by Turgeon. Turgeon ahead down to Thomas. Thomas shot save made, Roussel.
Steve Thomas, would he like another crack at that shot he hit off the goalpost earlier in this third period?
Now Steve Thomas of late not finding the net quite as often as he did earlier. Had games at goals at 4 consecutive games, but over the last 4 has been held to no goals. Right now Gary Galley up the middle. Malakoff intercepts that breakout pass and he'll hang it right back in. Flyers with just 21 shots in the game and trailing 2-0. And Malakoff back at his own line. A lead for King. He's got Turgeon. Pierre breaking in front off the stick of King. Thomas recovers. He's run into. Turgeon trying to jam away at the puck as he's checked there. Recchi. And now it's Galley angling off Turgeon. But
you can't see everything when you're down on the ice, but they did not see Thomas, coming in late. That scoring exchange as Turgeon went to Derek King on the left side. Coming all alone, unprotected, was Thomas, about 15 feet behind him. There's the pass by Malakoff to King to Turgeon. Watch Thomas, number 32 in white. See him put his stick up, calling for it. What a beautiful chance for a scoring opportunity for Thomas coming late. Maybe he didn't yell. That's when one of the communication things break down. Sometimes you're afraid to yell because a Philadelphia Flyer may pick you up, hoping that Turgeon would see him.
All right. Islanders, Delgrano pinned to the boards by Faust. Flyers will lob it to center, and here's Kasparaitis. Delgado will drive it in. Steve Racine with it. Brindamore now on with Renberg and Lindros. Here's Brindamore in front for Renberg. Shot save, Hextall. Oh my, and he covers up with the glove hand.
Good job by Ron Hextall. Renberg gets in again in his backhand attempt. Hextall just played the angle. Beautiful stop. Great hockey here in the third period at both ends of the ice. Here's Philadelphia breaking out of their end of the ice. Partially broken up with that pass. Marty McGuinness couldn't get his skate out far enough to break it up. And there's the backhand shot by Renberg.
Back to the live action. The Islanders trying to get the puck out. Delgrano was knocked down. Renberg, who has been denied 6 times tonight by Hextall, into the corner. Lindros spun around. And Krupp to pick it up. Huey Krupp. With 9:15 left here in the third, and it's a 2-0 Islander lead. Takes the safe way and bangs it to center. Racine knocked down by Krupp. Flyers change. Renberg heads off. Lindros stays on. Now the Flyers have it in center. Here's Conroy down the wing. McGuinness battling. Brindamore taken away by Marty McGuinness. The Islanders winning a lot of these little battles along the board. That is something that Alvaro loves to see. Marty McGuinness shot stopped by Roussel. Islanders in the midst of a change as Ray Ferraro has come on. Vasky paired up with Molotov. Vasky dumps it in. Boy, Lindros was headhunting for Vasky on that one. And it's deflected all the way down. Should be an icing here, but it goes right through the crease. But it's touched by Vasky nevertheless, and it will be an icing call.
All in the players in front of them, they and he. And of course, there's a comfort range. The players can play a little differently when they know they get that kind of goaltending. It goes a long way. And Hextall in the third period has made 4 outstanding saves.
22 saves for Hextall as he is working on another shutout here at home. Remember, he shut out Ottawa and Washington in his 2 previous home games. And right now, Jeff Finley will clear the puck to center. Service knocks it back to the blue line. Dumped in by Finley. Hextall reverses to Flatley. He's checked along the boards by the defenseman who moved up on the play that time. Finley. LaChance. Kept in at the blue line by Tippett. Battle along the boards. Faust. Now Conroy's pass broken up by LaChance. Tipped to center by Hogue, but good recovery by Wilkie. Hextall around the boards. Wilkie. Wilkie knocked down by LaChance. LaChance falls. Here's Conroy missing the net. Galley will move up. Sent behind the net. Tom Kervis tied up in the high slot that time with Conroy for about 15 seconds. They finally find themselves free. And here's the captain, Patrick Flatley. Islanders changing on the fly. Back to Hogue in front. Flatley. Oh, and it got tipped in front. Roussel, the Islanders after it. And Turgeon now, who has come out on a line change. Galley to get to it. Ryan McGill. And Huey Krupp back to pick it up. Flyers change offensively. Here's Kasparaitis. Hogue will head off for the Islanders, replaced by King. King comes on now from the right side, blasted it wide. Now the Flyers break to center. Recchi with Baranek and Dineen. Dineen with a sharp drive save. Hextall. Now Dineen battling. Recchi. Have it taken away by Thomas. 3-on-2 if they hurry. King with Thomas and Turgeon. Thomas back to King. King spinning around. Almost lost his edge. Thomas and Galley in the corner. McGill will drive it off the boards. Dineen, who has lost his helmet, throws it back to McGill. 6:18 to go in the third. It's still 2-0 Islanders. Baranek hit at the blue line by Malakov.
That's what the Islanders have to do. They have to make sure they've got somebody back checking so the defenseman can stand up as Malakov did there.
Racine intercepts one at center as Lindros got checked along the boards. Flyers dump it in. Hextall drives it hard. Bounces by Turgeon. Tipped by Malakov. Alert play as he tipped it out to center. Now Faust. Tapped away by the Islanders, recovered by Brindamore. 5:45 to go. This is what the Islanders want. They want to see that clock continue to move. It's their ally here. Renberg. Who has been denied repeatedly tonight, trying to get it in front. Here's a chance for Brindamore. Lindros cutting toward the net. Taken away by Delgado. Excellent work defensively by the Islanders. McGinnis will dump it in with 5:20 to go.
They have to expect that the Philadelphia Flyers are going to go all out here. They're going to take some chances. They've got to, and the Islanders, if they're patient enough, smart enough, they'll find some holes.
Racine. Ahead on the left wing. Lindros cross ice has got it. He turns and a shot blocked by Kasparaitis. Brindamore couldn't get to it. Nicely tied up by McGinnis and cleared by Travis Green. Both teams changing on the fly under 5 minutes to go here in the third. 2-0 Islanders. Conroy down the right wing. Pass behind Tippett. Malakoff was there, but instead Hogue will pick it up. A bad pass intercepted by Wilkie. Sends it toward the net. It's deflected off a stick out of play. On the Modell scoreboard. 4:39 to go in the third. It's 2-0 Islanders. Back at the Nassau Coliseum, a crowd of almost 14,000 have enjoyed a pretty good hockey game. A lot of hitting, only a couple of goals scored, but they've been great chances at both ends, and both goaltenders have sparkled tonight.
And an exciting game is right. I think this is the kind of hockey that the people come here, the people watching at home want to see. They want to see some goaltending. They want to see scoring chances. They want to see some strategy. They want to see some good body checking in the hockey game. And guess what? A Philadelphia Flyer game, an Islander game so far, not a fight.
And it's been excellent hockey. Good point. Now behind the net, Recchi. This is an explosive club, remember. And a 2-goal lead, not very safe. Good job by Vasky. Pins Dineen to the boards. Recchi with Malakoff taking him out. Good play, Malakoff as he drove it around the boards. Hope racing with Galley. Galley got back. He's got good speed too. Hextall comes way out and throws a glove that was standing in front of him. Here's Dineen. Blocked wide. Recchi. And Huey Kruk gets to the puck. Tipped ahead now for the speedy Hogue. Joined by Kasparaitis. And Kasparaitis will peel back to his defensive position. Kasparaitis gets it back at his own line. Islanders dump it in. There'll be no icing here. 3:45 to go here in the third. Islanders working on a 2-0 shutout. Intercepted by Turgeon. He'll just bang it right back in. Galley chased by Thomas. Here's a lead for Lindros, broken up by Turgeon. Gathered back by Renberg, rolls off his stick to Vasky.
That's a good example of the Islanders being able to stand up on the blue line there. Again, Nolikov checking.
Finley tied up at the blue line nicely by King. Thomas deflects it onto the Islander bench where it's gloved there by one of his teammates.
That's the discipline part of being a good, sound defensive hockey team. You don't want to let Philadelphia keep coming at you, but when you're in the position where they do have the puck, you want to put your players in the right positions. That allows, in this case, the defense to stay up on the blue line. If they shoot it in, if Philadelphia dumps it in, you've got Hextall back to field the puck, give it off to one of the forwards who should be in full flight going back to pick up the puck.
Now, the Islanders had playing so much better at home. You know, we mentioned last night that they've got to pick it up on the road where they've had third period disasters. But here at home over the last, I guess, half dozen of games, getting excellent goaltending, obviously, from Ron Hextall, but also playing a lot better at home than they were earlier in the year.
Well, most players will tell you, and goaltenders always agree, that when it comes to a shutout, it's what the whole team has done.
All right, Lindros has got it, deflected. Islanders again take the safe play and bang it down. Delgado with under 3 minutes to go as they protect a 2-0 lead. Green will whack it in. And Racine back to pick it up. Paired up with Jeff Finley. Lindros up front with Renberg and Brindamore. Again, the Islanders do a good job. Broke it up in center. Finley ahead for Lindros. Too far. Kasparaitis taken to the boards by Lindros. McGinnis tips it now to Green. And he'll flip it over the head of Racine as more time ticks away.
Thinking back to the matchups in this hockey game, Green, McGinnis, and Del Darnell have been out all night against Lindros and his line, as well as Huey Kruk and Kasparaitis. What a job they've done on defense. We also talked about a matchup in goaltending. We've had that tremendous goaltending in this hockey game, and the specialty teams come into play, particularly the penalty killing, because there has not been a power play goal.
And Ed, we also, if you remember at the top of the show in our storylines, mentioned the fact that the Islanders' big guys had to come to play. Pierre Turgeon, Steve Thomas, and Derek King had a very poor game, as we mentioned at the outset last night. They played very well. They've had numerous scoring chances, while the Flyers' #1 line, as you mentioned, has been shut down by the kid line.
And the #1 guy, Eric Lindros, as you see him. And the difference is this, Barry, that you don't, as a player in Turgeon's category, and Thomas and King on that line, you don't have to score goals every night. There's so many other things that you have to do in a hockey game to play well.
All right, playing center ice. 2:15 to go here in the third. Turgeon just content to flip it in. Yonda sending just one man in. Thomas, the forecheck, keeping 2 men back. Now Faust with Turgeon on him. Malakoff tipping at the blue line. Pushes Tippett. Islanders recover. Turgeon, shot save. The rebound out in front. Oh, knocked down again by Roussel. Thomas after the puck. This has been a hungry line tonight. They're going to the net with vigor. Now Malakoff knocked down, got back up. King has to wait for Turgeon to get onside, and he'll dump it right back.
Well, that's the advantage. You see Malakoff, he was able to stand in there and challenge the winger. Faust stole the puck from him.
Galley tripped by Ferraro, no call. Lindros taken out of the play by Krupp as he stood him up the blue line. 1:28 to go as the Islanders flatly dumps it in. Ferraro and Recchi and Hogue. And it's Brindamore who comes up with it. He's got Lindros with him. We'll keep an eye on Roussel. Brindamore to the blue line. Again, the Islanders all over the puck. Here's Lindros. Roussel still in goal. Lindros spun around, lost the puck, run into along the boards. This is the final meeting between these two teams, remember? So they probably won't meet again unless it's in the playoffs. Shot down the ice. Under a minute to go as Racine goes back to touch up, icing the call. They'll bring it back for a face-off in the Islanders' zone.
It's not the worst thing that could have happened to the Islanders, but it's not what they had in their game plan. They wanted to keep the play alive, keep the clock running. Timeout, you see the signal coming from Terry Simpson, the head coach. Gives his big fella that line, Renberg, Brindamore, and Lindros, an extra breather. Gives them time to just go over the game plan once again. Everybody knows what's expected of them, except the coach here, because he's got to get his piece of paper out that tells him. I'm just teasing Terry. Supposedly coming back Saturday, he'll be back for Sunday, and I know that we'll get busy once this game's over. And this is, as I said to you before we started this 8-game stint, Barry Landers, we had a lot of enjoyment working with you once before, and this was even better. It's been a nice experience and a comfort range that made it a lot of fun. We've seen some good hockey, and it's been an exchange that I've enjoyed.
Likewise. Right now, face-off with the extra skater on. You see Dominic Roussel, who has played very well tonight. Much better than he played last night when he gave up 4 goals in just 19 shots. Extra skater on. Here's Brindamore. Good play by Hogue. Tipped it to the blue line. Runs all over Galley, but Renberg fires it off of Recchi. He'll bang it behind the net. Hops over the stick of Dineen. Galley poking away. Renberg gets it back. Recchi chasing to the boards. Recchi shot blocked to the corner. Bouncing around. Renberg's got it. Dineen behind the net. Hit by Krupp. Oh, and a hit. Krupp barreled into him. Kasparaitis into the corner. Spun around is Del Gordo. 27 seconds to go. Renberg. Recchi shot blasted wide. Rebound. Hogue chopping away at it. Knocked down by Dineen. He'll send wide into the corner. You see the time remaining. Kasparaitis after it. Instead, it's Renberg with it to Dineen. He'll have to play it in the corner. Back behind the net now to Renberg. Renberg working his way out. 5 seconds to go. Here's Galley winding up with a shot wide. And this one will end with a shutout for Ron Hextall. The whistle blew actually before the time expired on the clock.
Fans here in the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Coliseum, but nobody's happier than Ron Hextall and his teammates.
Well, for Ron Hextall, who heard some boos early in the year, Eddie, right now hearing the cheers, he has had 10 consecutive periods of shutout hockey here at the Nassau Coliseum.
Well, that says a lot for the way the Islanders are playing here. They want to make sure that this stays as a place that teams don't come in thinking they're going to come out with easy points. And with this kind of a demonstration, a lot of scouts here at this hockey game, they did just that.
It's the Islanders' 7th straight victory here at home. And they win it tonight 2-0 as Al Arbor, proud of his club's effort, heads to the locker room, and now not much time to get ready for the Quebec Nordique, another club that the Islanders have to be concerned about as they get set for the playoffs. We'll be back with our post-game comments. Islanders shut out the Flyers 2-0.
With the enemy. Now what? Piece of cake. Ron Hextall and the New York Islanders, only on SportsChannel.
Championship-type hockey game tonight as they come up with a 2-0 victory. Let's take a look at the scoring summary. Scott LaChance got his 3rd of the year from Benoit Hogue and Tom Curvers, 9-11 of the opening period. And the only other goal of the game came in the 2nd period. Pierre Turgeon, who had a marvelous game tonight, his 22nd of the year, set up by Derek King at 3:51. That's the way this game ended, with the Islanders shutting out Philadelphia 2-0, no scoring in the 3rd period. And as far as shots on goal, the Tri-State Ford shots on goal, the Islanders with 9, Flyers with 7, Islanders with 39 shots on goal, and Ron Hextall with a shutout as he faced 23 shots. Standing by, Stan Fischler with one of the heroes in tonight's game, Scott LaChance.
Thanks, Barry. Well, a lot of Islanders have something to smile about, particularly this guy. You smiling?
I'm smiling.
You better smile, because this was one of the most stirring games. I thought, based on the shots on goal, that, you know, the Isles could have won this game 6-0 because Roussel was outstanding for them. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we were tremendous in the transition game. I mean, anytime they did get it in our zone, they were trying to dump it in, and Hexie did a tremendous job getting up to the forwards. And I think that was the key to the game, was the transition.
Before the game, Eddie Westfall, Barry Landers was saying this is just the must game. And with all that pressure on, I thought that the Islanders, yourself in particular, handled yourself with a lot of poise tonight.
Yeah, like I said, Hexie did a great job. It was one of those things where we came together as a team, and it seems to be where our team has to be for something. It has to be something where it's a must-win, and I think we come together, and I think that's what we're going to have to do the next 25 or so games that we have.
Hextall outstanding, obviously, 3 straight shutouts at home. But as a defenseman, you have to interplay with him because he passes the puck all the time. Do you ever work plays with your goaltender?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we know that when Hexie has the puck, instead of holding the guy up, we're going to let the player come into Hexie, and we're going to try to peel off to the corners, and it makes it that much easier. And that's, I think, the key.
Now, the winning goal, obviously, was your goal. It was the first goal of the game, and so significant. When you scored the goal, did it ever dawn to you that this would be the winning goal?
No, not at all. I mean, that's something.
First goal of the game. Let me hear LaChance play-by-play on this.
Well, Curveball made a great pass to get it into Hoagie, and I saw Conroy's back was turned, and I tried to go to the net, and that's a tough play for that forward to try to cover me, and Hoagie made an unbelievable pass. It wasn't. I mean, I'll admit it, I just put my stick down, and he put it right on my stick, and I directed it into the net.
Scott, very interesting that you credit Hogue with an unbelievable pass, but you had to have the presence of mind to have your stick in the right place at the right time, which is what you did. Now, let's talk about your game. You're playing solid on defense now. Are you happy with your game?
Well, I think no one's really happy with the way they play. You can always get better, and I think that's something I have to do. I mean, you start with the defensive play, and then you try to work your way into the offense, and that's something I'm going to have to continue to do.
Any Islander fan who is looking at this season has his eyes on the standings, looking at that playoff berth. Now it gets a little bit closer, the home stretch. How do you see it unfolding?
I think that's definitely the key to the season right now is how we do in this home stretch, and that's going to pull us through to the end of the season, I think.
What is Connecticut connection with you? Are they anybody here from Connecticut, from the family watching the game, or they watch it at home?
Oh, no, I bought them a satellite dish last year, so they don't seem to make it up as much, but my brother also plays for Boston University, so it's a 2-hour ride to Boston or to New York, so they seem to make it there and here as much as they can.
Your colleague, Darius Kasparaitis, was on. He was on at the end of the first period, already had scored a number of torpedo hits. Amazing the way he did. He had Lindros' number tonight.
I mean, he's the key, I think, one of the major keys for us. I mean, once you can get Eric Lindros off his game, then that makes your team that much more effective. And it seemed like any time someone would come down his wing, they seem to be a little intimidated, and they dump it in, and that's something that we have to do to win. If we can get Darius doing that every game, and let's say he hasn't, we're going to be a lot more effective.
Scott LaChance gets the winning goal, and he gives me a big smile. I'm very happy about that, and now we'll take it away, Barry and Eddie.
Thank you very much, Dan. Well, we mentioned backs to the wall, one of the storylines early. This team does play better when its back is to the wall.
Maybe that's what it takes. We've often talked about the fact that the Islanders seem to get up and play against the Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens and all the better teams. They play better against them, and maybe Scott LaChance pointing out the fact that maybe the Islanders have to dig themselves enough of a hole before they get serious about this game and then start to work their way out. Can only hope that they get out of the hole both feet and both hands.
Well, certainly was that way last year when they had their backs to the wall down the stretch making the playoffs. As far as tonight's game is concerned, how about our Fleet Bank player who made the difference tonight?
Fleet Bank player who made the difference, that's Darius Kasparaitis. And I know that Ron Hextall got a shutout as he heads in the dressing room. Look at this, Al Arbor, Darius Kasparaitis. Al Arbor recognizes the fact that in the early part of the hockey game, Kasparaitis set the tone with Eric Lindros. Rick Green is over on the left side of that picture. He is the defense coach of the Islanders, and he also giving Darius Kasparaitis some verbal recognition for an outstanding hockey game, the Fleet Bank player who made the difference.
Well, Stan, as you folks may have heard the interview between the first and second period, Kasparaitis said exactly that. He wanted to set the tone, and I think his teammates picked up on it.
I think if I remember correctly, he said something about, well, you hit all kinds of players, but they always remember when you hit the stars. That's the one I like to hit.
Well, he certainly hit the stars. And how about our Bud play of the game?
We've seen it already, but let's take another look at it. The opening goal of the hockey game. Scott LaChance played probably the best game that he's played in an Islander uniform. Well, a lot of people say that's saying a lot, but he did a lot. He knew enough. The presence of mind to head for the net and took it off the stick of Hoagie, as he called him. Hoagie put it on his tape, and he just shoved it into the net. The Bud play of the game. The first goal of the game, the winning goal of the game.
And the Islanders skate off with a 2-0 victory. We'll be back with more from the Nassau Coliseum. It's the Islanders 2 and the Flyers 0. Battle for the final playoff spot. And right now, let's take a look at our National Hockey League scoreboard. And Chicago and Buffalo in the third period. Chicago with a 3-1 lead. Ed Belfour and Dominic Hasek, the goaltenders. Jeremy Roenick, red hot, got another goal tonight, his 33rd, 8 goals in his last 4. Richie Sutter added a goal. Buffalo's only goal coming from Ken Sutton. Boston leading Winnipeg 5-3 as they play in the second period. Glenn Wesley with his 8th, Cam Neely 43rd, Glenn Murray his 9th, and Brian Smolinski his 20th and 21st. Winnipeg getting goals from Zamnov and Thomas Steen. Jets are winless in their last 17 games. Riendo and Mike O'Neill, the rookie, in goal for Winnipeg. L.A. and Edmonton tied 1-1 in the first period. L.A. getting a goal from Jim Pack, the defenseman acquired from Pittsburgh. Edmonton getting a goal from Brent Grieve, the former Islander farmhand, his first NHL goal. L.A. is now 6 points behind 8th place San Jose in the battle for the last playoff spot. And Anaheim is just 2 points up on L.A. And in the National Basketball Association tonight, well, the Nets, who've been red hot of late, lost to Orlando 114-102. And those are the scores on the National Hockey League scoreboard. And as we mentioned earlier, Ed, a very important victory for the Islanders. They're now back in the hunt, so to speak, and they can't really enjoy this too much because they've got Quebec coming up on Sunday.
Well, it's a big game, of course, Barry, and I think that the Islanders first want to enjoy the fact that they have that they have beaten Philadelphia in this hockey game. And before I go any further, again, my friend, thank you. It's been a wonderful experience, and I know that you work right next door in the radio, but to have you on here with Sports Channel again and to bring some of your melodic tones and some of your wonderful statistics, I've enjoyed it. And I know the guys in the truck, producer, Kevin Meininger, and all have enjoyed it too. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it, Ed. It's been a lot of fun working with you again, and we've had some exciting games, as you mentioned. It should be a great stretch run down the last 20 games or so of the season. Well, it's time to take a look at the skinny. And hopefully we'll have some stats to show you, folks, and here they are. The Islanders are 4-27-2 when scoring 3 goals or less, and of course brought to you by the Tri-State GMC Truck Dealers. And Ron Hextall, well, his first 7 seasons had only 4 shutouts. This season, 4 shutouts with the Islanders. And the Islanders' first shutout versus the Flyers since 1987, when Kelly Rudy was in goal for the Islanders as they win it 2-0. Against the Philadelphia Flyers, cooling off the red-hot Flyers. Once again, the final score, the Islanders 2 and the Flyers 0.